All right, guys, we are ready to go. Championship match of today's B3 bracket play event, 440 scratch doubles, the first ever tournament that we've ran, with a doubles format. Brandon Allred here alongside my buddy
Jake Peters, and we're here watching Lorie Schmidt start us off here on the right lane. Looks pretty good.
Bucket and Friend kick things off.
Yeah, that's one thing that's been kind of happening as we continue on. If they start to curve, it looks like they're getting a lot tighter down the lane as well. So the players that can really twist it down lane are having a little bit more success than the straighter players later on.
They've been pretty difficult all day long, that is for sure. We had a total of 23 teams join us today. The cut number was actually Lorie Schmidt and Mike Fagan at 1545. That is minus 55 for the 4 games team total.
Very similar shot.
Previous matches leading up to the championship match, opening round, we had 2 teams bowling. We had 2 buys. Kicking us off were Dan Peters, John Congro. They had 418 against Lorie's and Mike's 463. The other match was Gary Gabriel and Matt Anderson, totaling 332 against Jeff Paul and Greg Thompson. They posted a 449. Your second round, we saw some pretty good action there towards the end. Lorie and Mike were down by 25 going into the second game and fired a massive 278 to get them to 461 over Mike Malucci and Toby Sambueno, who posted 365. A little bit of a struggle that last game for them. And the real excitement came in the Jeff Paul, Greg Thompson against Christina and Adam. Christina and Adam were down by 24 going into the last game. Greg Thompson in the 10th frame steps up, needing to mark to shut it out. Leaves the 2-5-8 and takes the 2-8 clean, leaving the 5. Adam needed to step up and double for the win, and he did exactly that in veteran fashion, putting them in the final match here.
It's absolutely crazy. Those had to be 2 of the highest Baker games we've had, and it's crazy they both happened the exact same game on 2 different pairs.
That's
really
crazy.
Awesome. So, as you can see, the Mike Fagan is bowling with us. He is obviously able to create a much different shape than everybody else here on the finals pair. Adam Ishman up on the right lane. Looks pretty good. Got a hook back. Really
The big curve himself.
Yeah, it looks like that's really the best way to play him right now. It looks like if you can get in and twirl it like that, you can create a little bit of room at the break point. The neat thing about our Baker style right now is you're noticing all the players are bowling on the same lane this game. And then the next game, they're all going to switch, so that way each player will bowl 5 frames on each lane for a 2-game total pinfall match.
I think that could be a pretty good strategy, too, choosing your good lane to end on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot like a big chess match, really, because you're not worried about the pair. You really got to focus on, hey, I'm going to have to throw shots when it matters on this lane, and you really got to pick which player goes when.
That's it. We also had an optional singles event that we ran today as well. We had 27 total entries in that. Paid a total of 6 players, and it only took plus 11 to cash. Plus 11.
That's awesome. What do you think of the scoring pace, Brandon?
You know what? I'm a firm believer in making people work for their scores, and I will say I am proud of our patterns because our scores are always very, very competitive. It doesn't take a lot to cash. You stay in play, keep yourself out of trouble, grind away your spares, catch a good double every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're making money.
And as someone who does it for a living, it's awesome to look at the sheet and see going into the last game, we had exactly 27 people in our optional singles, and over half of them had a chance to get cash going into the last game.
That's correct. All it takes is one big game. When the scores are lower and you find a way to pop 230, 240, all of a sudden you're jumping 10, 12 spots. You're not just inching your way up the ladder or keeping pace.
That is one of my favorite parts, which is one of the reasons I think we try to keep it here at Battleborn Bowling, is to make it to where if you get rewarded for bowling well. As you can see, Michael Fagan with another great shot. He's been doing that a lot today. He was by far our high qualifier.
Mike won the singles optional pot, shooting 902 for the 4 games. Also won a couple of high game pots as well. No surprise there.
Not at all. The man is good. Adam Ishman up on the right lane. Still trying a big wheel.
Boom. And another big wheel. Splashing them up. It's 3 in a row.
As you can tell how many games have been bowled so far, Adam Ishman, that ball he's curving is an Onyx vibe, so very weak ball by Hammer. So they've got a bunch of lines with having doubles on each pair. We're having 4 to 6 people on a pair rather. We can really see a lot of lines, and you can see why they're curving so much for this title match. It's a great shot.
Great move by Lorie after coming in light the last couple of times. Pretty sweet adjustment for the double.
And for you guys at home, this scoring pace is not indicative to what we've seen all day. This is really amazing bowling we're seeing. These are the 2 best teams here.
100%. I don't know about you, Jake, but my 2015 doubles and singles event in El Paso was not very fun. I struggled. I didn't make a spare, and I never struck. Brutal.
That is awesome, because I was very fortunate not to get to bowl that year. USBC kicked me out that year, and I was very thankful.
A little high for a 4-pin by Christina there. Out of trouble. Makeable spare on the board.
Right now we're staying about a 3-pin match. Going to be really close. I think we can expect that.
You know, we were asked before we got things kicking off here is, you know, who's our pick to win? I don't know if there's a clean-cut favorite right now. I mean, they've both been bowling very well. Lorie and Mike's 2-game matches previously were 463 and 461. Pretty consistent.
And of course, Adam and Christina only had a 101 match because of being the qualifying leader with their bye, but still 447. Both
slouch
people
about.
averaging 220, and averaging 220 when it takes 10 pins a game under to make the cut is pretty amazing. So.
The king of swing, stepping up lane 11, double working.
I'm going to guess he's going to hook it here.
I like your chances.
Right inside 5th arrow. Great shot.
And
now
10 back.
I was watching very closely a few of his matches. His first match, he only missed 1 time out of the 10 shots. That was amazing. I know he 4-pinned, I believe, in the 2nd frame of the 2nd game, and that was it, including striking out in the 10th frame. So it was just unreal.
Dialed in today, that is for sure.
But no one's been more clutch than this guy, doubling to get his team to the finals. That's pretty awesome.
Those are 2 of the best shots I've seen anybody throw today, for sure. And there was another one. And that hit about the same part of the lane in her first frame where she left the bucket in front. Now we're staring down another bucket.
And that's not a bad shot. All that is just a little firm, but it's still on line, and gosh, it makes you pay for it here.
It's crazy how tough this pattern developed over the course of the day. Front part of lane starts giving away. Down lane gets a little bit tighter. And your margin of error completely decreases, especially when you're trying to keep your angles straighter.
Now in this pattern, this is not a makeable spare. This is easily to chop. She made it easy.
Made it look easy.
Both of them.
I don't want to shoot that on the house pad, let alone now.
It's the reset button.
I would do that with the 36910 in college. You ever stare down at that?
Oh yeah. When you're lofting the gutter cap and you got to pray for count, that's good fun.
I just hit the 3-pin and hope.
Oh yeah. So I do that on the first ball. So Christina Kinney stepping up a 7th frame. She is throwing the Ebonite Game Breaker 2. Just everybody's benchmark bowling ball. Soul inside a target there.
And fortunate to only leave the 4-7.
Good spin.
No problem.
Easy. Right? Just kidding. Nothing's easy in this environment, in this situation.
Not at all. Well, Jacob, just like we thought, we have a 9-pin match going into the last couple of frames here.
I would have to think that, I mean, this being a 2-game match, we're going to see it come down to the last 3 or 4 frames on game 2. I think this one's just to put everybody in a good position for what is to come.
For sure.
I think we're going to see some really neat strategy and some neat moves by the players whenever they have to switch lanes game 2 and see how they can handle the adjustments. Especially for Mike, he's going to probably be in front of the ball return. It's going to be really interesting.
Oh, 100%.
So someone should tell him this is hard.
Evidently, he didn't get the memo on that.
He did not.
Going back to him getting in front of the ball return on lane 12 coming up here next game. Semifinal match is on 13 and 14, and watched him in the 10th frame. He had a little bit of an issue because I don't think he was quite in front of the ball return on 14. He was kind of half walking around it a little bit, and I think his leg was catching it just a little bit.
Yeah,
Reset a couple of times. And maybe this lane took him a little more, so he's got to get completely in front of it. We'll see what happens.
And I think it'd be easier if he had to get fully in front as opposed to kind of be in between, because you're just not quite sure what to do, because all these guys have different approaches whenever you're playing inside a ball return. You know from college bowling days, you shorten up the approach and free up the swing, and if you're trying to gain your full approach because of ball speed, it gets a little tricky. So I think it'd be better off if he had to move inside.
For sure. We saw Adam get a little soft there. The ball never quite made it right far enough. Dug in, and thankful again to only leave 6-10. They're keeping out of trouble. That was almost a problem, but skinny jeans for the spare.
He's wearing shorts, man.
Well, it is 110 outside, so.
That's okay.
But is it 110 in the bowl? I don't think so.
Can do. So this is a very, very interesting shot here, because Christina strikes here, still gives him 225 max. He's going to definitely keep it really close going into game 2, but this is a really key shot for her. That's a little right. Looks like it could get back. Oh, same result.
She's definitely threading the needle, Jake, for sure.
It's just this pattern gets you trapped like that, where you're in the zone, and I think Lorie's feeling a little bit too, where if you miss a little right, it just overexcels, so you try to keep it in front of you, and man, there's no hold. So it is really difficult. So let's see if Lorie can make a little move off that bucket here. On one side.
Froze. That's a big double.
That is huge, and that's a really huge advantage of Lorie with her game. She got that little off through the front, really allowing it to freeze on line right there, where Christina's took off on her the shot before. Good spare.
Right down the middle for the spare.
It's hard to chop it when you hit every pin with the ball.
You're amazing.
I know.
Mr. Fagan stepping up. Opportunity to throw 3 in the 10th for 246. Christina's and Adam's max score 212. So a potential 34 pin advantage if it all ends up off the sheet.
It's nice that he's playing so far inside. Really lets us get a good view of the whole shot. It's got to push.
And that was a little slow, and that was amazing. Did you see the bowling gods shine down on lane 11 where the lights literally fluttered? And the next thing you know, everything's gone.
Yeah, I've never thrown a shot so good I actually shut off the lights.
It's that national title carry. Does it work for you?
It's a major title carry.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I'm not the king of anything. Just wishful thinking, maybe.
In all seriousness, that was a huge triple.
Yeah, I mean, that just a mark there guarantees they're going to have the lead going into game 2. So everything here is just straight bonus.
And tit for tat there.
How does that dare stand? That was a really good adjustment. I don't know if he made an adjustment there or just got a little firmer off the other one being
It definitely looked more firm for sure, and I think that's why I was able to clear the front a little bit better.
So really puts Adam in a really interesting position because he doesn't need to, but man, he would really like to double here to keep it close, keep it within that 25 pin range, 23 pin range rather.
Hey, we saw last round, both of these teams were down by 20 pins and managed to claw their way back and end up here, bowling for the title.
See if Adam makes a little adjustment. He's got to stay a little firm as well here. That's really good. Adam throwing a weaker ball than everybody else. That's very unique, but I think that's also why you see him with a little slower ball speed. So.
Give the ball time to read the pattern, and it does the right thing.
But bowling with him quite often, he really likes this ball. This ball seems to respond in the middle part of the lane, where sometimes the more aggressive balls kind of labor on him a little bit. So it's a really good move for him. So I think this shot could end up being key in about 15 minutes. Got to push a little bit.
Oh, and that is just not fortunate. Stone cold, sort of high flush 9.
Sort of. Ran over the 8 pin. Had no chance. So good spare there. So that's going to put us at 202 for Adam and Christina after game 1, and 235 for Mike and Lorie. So we got a 33-pin game going with 10 frames to go. Now you'll notice both players are switching lanes. So Lorie was on the right. She'll be starting us off here on the left lane.
.33-pin advantage to Lorie. Still anybody's game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, one frame, as tough as this could be, is easily 30 pins. So I'm really interested to see. I did not get any feedback from the players going into this game of if the lanes are playing any different. So we'll have to watch and learn. That was a really good shot.
10 back to kick things off. There's nothing wrong with that. Curious to see if Christina's going to make a move here on 12, more of a substantial move than lane 11, because she's right in that zone where her misses left just don't quite hold, and her misses right just don't quite recover. Again, kind of threading the needle a little bit.
What do you think for her game should her move be?
In my opinion, I think her move is left and a little bit slower. Her tilt's able to get the ball around the corner a little bit if she were to get in and get softer with it. And I think there it's just too much early hook. I think she's kind of again, right in that in-between zone. We're shifting a little in and catching a little bit more in the lower front part of the lane, letting her tilt get the ball around the corner.
Yeah, and I think it appeared that she slowed down there. So maybe she just got to take a little mini step left, maybe 3 boards, and see the ball work itself back.
I think that would be most beneficial.
Because I mean, you don't want to panic. Still got a full game left here, but I mean, obviously with Baker, she's got 4 frames left. You don't want to make any drastic changes, but just something to get the ball in the pocket.
Correct. And we got a good spare on the board.
Really big shot here for Schmidt and Fagan. Really can open it up to 40 and start to kind of put some distance here. So he's going with walking around the ball return.
Amazing. Like a true professional. That was 10 back for the double, and that is a great way to kick things off, because now you're going to put pressure on early Christina and Adam and really force them to make good shots. Not only make good shots, you got to get the breaks go along with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite there, but we are getting to where they really need to put some strikes on the board, at least let Mike and Lorie know they're still hanging around. Slow wheel, got to push. Really good.
Send back.
So,
No offense, Mike.
based on those 2 shots, kind of looks like the left lane might be hooking just a little bit more.
Way to go, Adam.
Looks like it's hooking a little earlier and not as much down lane. Lorie opening up to 53 pins. A little double dribble. Roll it.
Saws the 5-pin out.
So that's big. So now we're in a position to where the tide kind of changes. Now Christina can get it back down to 33. See her adjustment. She did go inside.
She did go in. Look
Really
at that,
good.
10 back. What a great move. What a great move for the double.
That's awesome. And positive talk. She knows she's working teamwork. It's really awesome. So, Lorie for 7-pin. Got it.
Good clean living.
Too easy. I was kidding. So,
And like I haven't been home. Been home to feed them and go back to work. That's it.
Oh, good grief. That got right really fast, created a lot of angle down the lane, and we have a very unfortunate stone 7-9 situation.
and what a key point in the match, because now, I mean, I wouldn't have it past him. He could bounce this, but now you're looking at losing another 10 pins. So Adam can now strike it and make it a 13-pin game now. It's amazing.
How fast the tides will turn. Once again, 33 pins really is not a lot. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but when something like that happens,
That's just unfortunate. I mean, you can never ever think something like that's going to happen. This is huge. This is straight momentum right here. Oh, he posted it. Maybe a little quick off his hand, but man, he looked like he threw it pretty good.
Looked like it went a little bit left to right too fast through the front part of the lane. May have caught just enough of the oil that's left in the front. Didn't quite make it up the hill. Lane needed to be like 62 feet to the front of the head.
Or maybe 61 and a half. You don't want 7.9 though.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good shot. Cleaned it up. So we are looking at 89 and 76, so 13 pins. So we are at 20 pins.
20-pin match with
6 frames to go.
just a little bit left to play.
Gotta hurry.
Yeah, it looked firm and right.
Firm, yeah. So, but that's what she's been able to do, you know, really keep it in the pocket, being firm, but also with as good as her ball roll is, she just does not get in trouble. I mean, that has been really the key today. And she has proven time and time again, this is just a walk in the park spare for her.
I don't like shooting this combo on the house park.
No.
I don't really like shooting anything because I miss it a lot, so.
It's gotta hurry again.
Easy spare.
Keeping it at 20 pins overall. Looking to repeat third frame here. Just got to push or cross, either one. Looks like maybe just a little quick, maybe low to target.
Grabbed at it a little bit, looks like. Thus firm, thus left.
Gosh,
But
can't.
I mean, again, fortunate enough to stay out of trouble, so.
Can't blame her. I mean, there's just no room. You just feel like you're in a bubble. I mean, you feel like if you miss a little left, it's going to be in trouble, and right, it's going to be in trouble. So it's so easy to just keep it in front of you like that.
That's it. Like bowling in a phone booth.
That's no fun. Nobody ever wants to be in a phone booth. That's
They
why
even
they're
have
gonna-
phone booths anymore?
No, just for Superman. This spare here after 5 will be at 22 pins.
Able to run it down.
So if you're Mike here, do you make any adjustment off that?
You know, Jay, that's a tough call. Because my opinion, his ball just got right a little bit quick. Created a little bit too much angle down the lane. If anything, a touch right, maybe a board, if you plan on keeping targets in the same place.
Yeah, see, I think with him, he'll probably change his touch a little bit and or maybe inch a little bit left and use that friction. We'll have to see. I mean, he can do a lot of things. Oh, way behind it. Definitely was, what, solid foot and a half longer down the lane there?
Oh, for sure. Fortunate enough to get the 10 out of the 2-8-10 combo that was standing there, so.
So it looks like he doesn't like his look. Looks like he is he going to change a feel or
Yeah, I
bowling
think he's
ball?
going to change feel. Going back to the bag off camera here. Time to reevaluate the feel.
With a format like this where we bowl stop, and Baker, so you're only bowling half the game, your thumb just goes up and down so often.
Feel is so important for basically, you know, everything.
So, yeah.
If you have a bad feel to start, I think that throws everything off.
So this is no gimme.
bringing the super curve at the 2-8.
Touched about just every board he could there.
Nevertheless, still a spare on the board.
Right? So we are now back at exactly 20 pins.
Crunch time, Jacob.
Back half of the back game of the finals. What more can you ask for? So I think, like I said, I still think they got some time, but man, would they like a strike up right here. That was a lot slower. Got around the corner.
And that was 10 back. Great shot by Adam there.
I can't blame him for what he did in the fourth. I mean, they're curving so much and trying to stay slow to get it around the corners. It's hard because you know you get a little soft. It's 6 through the middle.
And we saw that very, very often today.
So you think Lorie is going to make an adjustment off the last 2 shots, or is she going to do any?
I think it's going to be more of a touch thing for her. Because I think the last couple were just a little bit grabby, a little bit firm. I think if she settles down and just gets under it like she's been, I think she'll be in good shape. All right.
Oh, stubborn. But control in the pocket.
That's it.
This is big. Do you think Christina's going to take any more boards to the left here, or you think she's going to just
I think
stay
she
with
should, personally. I think she should continue to chase it left. She definitely moved from last game to try to catch a little bit more of the oil in the front part of the lane, but I think she can still go just a touch more.
I think so. I mean, and she's still in a pretty aggressive cover. I mean, the game breaker too, so she'll be able to go in and know it's not gonna stay out there. It's gonna go ahead and pick up for her. So give it a try. Good spray.
Lorie running down the 7.
This is definitely the key of Battleborn bowling, is knowing how to shoot a spare. Track spare pluses for anybody at home. Bring them out.
Need it.
So it looks like it might be about a board or 2 based on her feet. It's either a board or 2, but definitely we're going to try more open angles here. It's got to push still. Oh, just not far enough right.
And I think that was just a touch slower, too. I don't think the ball had a chance to really project to the right a little bit because the front part of the lane is just hooking so much after all these games. I think that one just needed to be a little firmer. If it was more firm, I think she would have done it.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Like I said, the bowlers know there's hang out there. You feel it, so you just don't want to throw it to it. So I understand the feeling.
That's, again, going back to bowling in the phone booth. You have no miss left, you have no miss right, so you're threading the needle and trying to be perfect. You touch the fingers a little bit or grab it with your thumb, I mean, all of a sudden you're looking at 6.
No. Ooh. Was close to the chop there. Got away with that one. But nonetheless, we're
Spare on the board.
19 pins. 8, 9 frames. So now we are coming back down to where it is one shot. One frame, one hit is going to determine who's going to win this.
That is correct.
So I think Mike is probably going to take the boards left based on where it overhooked, and I think he's going to probably try to slow down here and just catch it a little bit more.
That's probably a good bet. And he did everything that you said he did and decided to put 10 back.
That is huge because, I mean, you know Mike is a veteran. He knows that if they don't miss, they can't lose. And you just don't give them an opportunity. That's kind of the...
That's it.
You never want to be on the other side of the ball return hoping.
This is a huge, huge frame for Adam coming up here.
You know, many people are confusing you for Mike Fagan.
And we have a high flush 4 here. A little bit slow. Good direction, I think, but just didn't quite hang on. Well, with the spare here.
We're still looking at 220 max. I mean, that's
There's still a chance.
I mean, if they get them all, I mean, we still got to double. The other team has to double.
That's it. I mean, they're going 190 pace. Lorie and Mike going 190 pace right now. So this hit right here.
This hit almost kind of locks it, really. I mean,
It's getting down to it.
but I think Lorie's got to not move, just trust her process and throw this one good and get the ball to finish a little bit harder through the pins. And
She's been close these last 3 shots.
It's a little bit more left, but aggressive. Oh, that was so good.
That was much better. She got that going into the lane a little bit better.
Super aggressive, super tight. The ball read perfect. It just didn't go through on the right.
It's tough when a pattern gets this difficult. You feel like you ace it off your hand, and to not get the hits, especially in crunch time, that's just a tough scenario.
So yeah, so now we're at an interesting. I mean, it's going to be big what Christina does here, because now all of a sudden, if Christina and Adam strike out, Mike will have to double, because they got exactly they got the count on their side now. So it's going to be really interesting.
Man, we got a match, Jacob. Lorie able to run down the spare there, so it's getting exciting.
It is. So it's such a tough position to be in that Christina is right now, where you're still not quite sure what the lane's doing, and you just got to be aggressive and trust it right here.
Definitely in must-strike situation.
But as a USBC Southern Nevada Hall of Famer, I think she will make the adjustment here and give us a really good effort.
For sure. Maybe get a little bit of that Hall of Fame carry. I heard that's pretty good too.
That's big. I need to have some type of carry. What is that like?
I'm still looking, Jacob.
Gary, don't hit me with your shoulder.
And that was left for sure.
Got to hit it.
Wow. Well, if you can't strike from the right, give it a try on the left. I think the best advice that you ever gave me years ago was if you're going to miss by a lot.
Yeah.
Thus, here we stand.
It's not how many.
That's it.
So we got 203 and 226 left. Okay. So it's very interesting. Count now is important because we got 33 pins. So, strike spare, we shoot for a tie.
I would love to see a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. I think that'd be super fun. We've already had some exciting matches. We knew this one was going to come down to the wire too, and all of a sudden here we are.
So, but give it some room. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my.
Yeah, just a little fast, and like I said, it was all about controlling the pocket, and unfortunately, it just. But this is still makeable, still very makeable. So
For a guy like Mike, this is definitely still makeable.
but so now we're at 180. So regardless, Adam is going to have to strike, but the spare with not. So it's still going to be.
He needs to get a hit. Adam needs a hit.
It's pretty close. So Mike looking to fill here because every shot, every pin does matter right here. So great shot. So we're looking at 426 is the total for Mike Fagan. 426. So that means we will need a double and 5 to be a champion.
Well, Adam doubled in the crunch time last match. Let's see if he's still got some gas in the tank to put a couple of good ones on the board here.
I think he does. You know, Adam is one of the few bowlers that you always know is going to give you his best effort when you need it most. It's pretty good.
Oh, boy.
Do you think whenever we were talking game one, they heard that we needed it to be close?
I think they did. I think they got the subtle hint that said, hey, guys, you know, we want some excitement here. So, 33 pins, again, is no gimme.
Not at all. So we have now been here for 6 hours, and it comes down to one shot. Isn't that crazy?
Amazing.
So I look for Adam. Knowing him, he'll probably move just about a board or so. Go ahead and give it a little bit more business at the bottom and let it go. That's left. It's left. Got it.
And 10 back. That was amazing. That was amazing. And that is enough.
That is plenty.
That
What
is
a great
enough.
finish.
Man, what a finish, guys. That was awesome. Well, congratulations to Adam and Christina. What a finish, guys. That was super cool. Well, Jacob, I think that about wraps it up. I mean, well, I don't think we could have asked for better finals. That was pretty cool.
No, that was awesome. You know, thank you all to everybody coming out. Thank you to Track for supporting us, and hopefully we see you guys all at our next event.
Until the next one, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to give this channel here a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Let them know we post finals for every one of our B3 events. Stick around for the latest ball reviews. We'll catch you on the next one.